Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mind Body Wellness Sessions with Tracie and Stephanie. Today, we are talking about a topic that has come up a lot in the last few months. With me, I just feel like talking to friends and family and clients, but also I'm seeing it in the grander scale as well. And I know Tracie feels the same. And what that topic is how to cope with existential thought patterns. What would be a mind and body approach to this? So Tracie is a registered psychotherapist with the Center for Interpersonal Relationships here in Ottawa, and I am a high performance coach, personal trainer, nutritionist at Epic Fitness and Lifestyle here in Ottawa as well. So we're going to give you two different answers, incorporating body and mind, and give you some ideas of how to deal with these existential thoughts that are coming up and feelings that are coming up. So Tracie, on your side, from a psychological perspective, what's going on when we are like literally contemplating our whole life? What's going on there?
Yeah, so I think this is a really important issue right now because with less structure in our lives, our routines being disrupted, and we're just more confronted with ourselves, quite honestly. People are noticing an increasing sort of sense of meaninglessness at times, and also just really thinking more about existential issues that they may otherwise not have access to with the regular routine of their lives. And so one thing that's coming up psychologically is what we call vegetative symptoms, which are sort of the automatic functions of self-regulation involving our appetite, sleeping, our energy levels, attention, focus, concentration. Those things are a little bit disrupted for people right now. And so they're also involved in depressive episodes. Those symptoms might occur. So we've heard people talk about how they're having a little bit more difficulty getting out of bed. They're finding it more difficult to maintain their focus, their energy levels, their appetite is out of whack. And another thing that's really important to acknowledge is that the transitional markers that we have in our daily life, like, our commute to work, our commute back home, going to different spaces, that really demarcates psychological boundaries for us. So that helps to distinguish between different domains of life, like our personal life, our leisure time, our family time, our work time. And now all of that is blended together and not really recognizable as distinct. So that's definitely an issue that is becoming increasingly prevalent right now. So it is important to kind of develop some form of routine for yourself during this time, which would be helpful to create new psychological boundaries in this COVID context. And that might look very different depending on what you have access to in your living space. For some people, they're trying to kind of designate different living spaces for different activities as a way to create that psychological structure. For some people, they're doing things like going for a morning walk before they start their day, finding a wind down activity to end the day. So really trying to implement some new routines to create psychological markers for our different aspects of our experience and our life.
I love that. That's so key. That's great.
And for you, Stephanie, from your perspective, tell me a little bit more about how physically we can incorporate this notion of, creating more structure to kind of work through whatever existential issues might be arising for us during this time.
Yeah, I think that one of the best things that we can do, and this has sort of come up into pop culture, especially as it pertains to yoga practices and meditation, and as spirituality is sort of bleeding into pop culture a little bit too when it comes to self-care. The importance of grounding is something that I think hasn't been part of the conversation in previous decades, for sure. But existential crisis thought patterns are more elevated, sort of like it's like an out of body experience. So when we get into this cycle of like, what's my purpose? What's the meaning of this? You feel completely untethered. And as crises happen in our life, or as a collective crisis happens, or we feel that our body, our routine, as you said, is disruptive to a point where it's unrecognizable. I love that you said that. It's unrecognizable. It's just not what we've experienced before, and we didn't choose it. So it causes this emotional effect, this physical effect. The best way to drop out of that existential crisis thought patterns from a body perspective is to do grounding activities. This might be meditation activities or breath work that helps us to feel more into our body rather than having this out of body feeling. It can also mean something as simple as working out. When we feel our body, when we feel our hands, we feel our muscles, we feel the sweat, we feel the heart pumping, it grounds us. When we feel grounded, we feel safe. Existential crisis, in my experience, comes from a lot of just not feeling safe anymore. And that is what routine gives us, is this feeling of protection and safety where we know what to expect. The lizard brain activates when we are untethered because it is a sign to our body that we are not going to survive. If I don't know what to expect psychologically and physically, if I don't know if there's someone, a boogeyman around the corner, if I don't know if I'm going to get lunch today or not, it puts this threat, this lizard brain gets activated, and we feel this ungrounding. So the best thing to start with is doing grounding activities, feeling, exercise through your body, going for walks. And you can also use activity as a way to, as you said, mark the day. So having a morning walk is a really great activity. I start my day, I get out of bed, I change clothes, I go on my walk, I come back, I change my clothes again, I have a shower, I wash off that part of my day, then I physically enter into my workspace, do my work. So having those physical markers as well, whether it is having a shower, washing your hands, going for a walk, doing a workout, closing your eyes and having some meditation or feeling the weight of your pelvis in your chair, these things help us feel more safe, protected, and that we know what to expect, which helps deregulate the nervous system and the lizard part of our body and brain. Those are things I think are really important, and you can do them from anywhere and do anything, but those are things I think are the most important from a body perspective.
Yeah, I really appreciate the idea of stabilizing oneself when there's already so much flux going on in our lives and so much powerlessness, as you had pointed out.
Yeah, and there's nothing that feels better than, physical activity can feel like we're winning. If we hit a personal best with steps per day, or we do a stretch routine and we get to work and our posture feels better, those are little wins that we can have to make us feel good about ourselves, and that will give us more confidence, make us feel more safe in our day-to-day, and I think will lessen that existential crisis. Not the thoughts of where am I going in my life, that's fine, that feels good. It's the existential crisis that everything is falling apart, I think, that we can regulate just by those practices. All right, Tracie, this has been awesome. Stay tuned, guys, for more episodes coming your way. If you want to get in touch with Tracie, you can go to www.cfir.ca. For myself, you can reach me through Instagram. That's the best spot, at Stephanie Karlovits, or my business's website, which is epicfitnessottawa.com. Thanks, guys, and talk soon.
Bye.